right, welcome back. Thank you everyone for being here. I know it's a sacrifice after work for a lot of you to come here and probably skip dinner to attend this event, but we generally appreciate it. We are going to try to get out of here by 7 p.m. We usually get through this whole ceremony within an hour. So we ask that if you could stay for the entire evening to ensure that all of our students get the same recognition and applause throughout the entire event. As I said earlier, tonight's a highlight, and you're going to hear a lot about our individual students, their backgrounds, some of their stories. And without any further ado, I'm going to introduce our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Mr. Juan Cabral, who is basically going to come in and translate everything I just said.
All right, gracias. Quiero nada más darles la bienvenida. Este es un gran evento para nosotros, para ustedes. Felicidades a todos padres. Queremos preguntarles, por favor, que se pueden quedar. Nada más vamos a terminar como una hora y queremos que todos los alumnos puedan recibir el mismo reconocimiento. Por favor, si se pueden quedar, nada más una hora, ¿ok? Bienvenido y otra vez felicidades a todos padres. Tienen unos hijos muy, muy buenos. Gracias.
So we're going to get right into it, and it's my honor to introduce our superintendent, Mr. Michael R. McCormick.
All right, good evening. This is a real honor and a joy. We're going to start with our smallest students, our preschoolers, and they're a tough act to follow, and we'll wind up with our high schoolers towards the end of the evening. So again, we'd love it if you can stay. And I'd like at this time to invite the Board of Education to join me on stage, starting with the President of the Board of Education, Ms. Suzanne Stotler. Vice President of the Board of Education, Mr. Julio Gonzalez. Our Clerk of the Board, Ms. Shelley Yarbrough. Board Member, Mr. Matthew Serafin. And Board Member, Ms. Marla Kirkland. Thank you all, and I think we're ready to go with the preschoolers. So starting this off with the principal of our preschool programs across the entire district, Ms. Julie Singletary.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, board members, Mr. Lenore, and Val Verde community. It's my privilege to present the preschool awards for the month of January. Our very first award recipient, and both of them are from Manuel Real. Our first award recipient is Elvira Acosta for academics. And for citizenship, it is Olivia Denham.
Yeah, there's a bunch of, this is stranger danger up here. There's a lot of people up here that they haven't seen before, so bear with us. We're going to take a real nice picture. And yeah, let's give them a hand. And I should let you know that we will take a professional picture for the families of each of the students that we will mail to you. And we also invite you, if you want to get that picture with your cell phone, please come up when we take the picture and just stand beside our photographer and you can get that picture also. From our elementary schools, first up, from Avalon, Principal Tammy Roten.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, board members, and Assistant Superintendent Lenore and Valverde community. It is with great pleasure that I'm here tonight to honor 2 Avalon Falcons. I couldn't locate them, so I'm hoping they're here. The first one is receiving his award for citizenship. He's from our Learning Center, Anthony Arando. And my second one I know could not make it, Joshua Cineros.
From Columbia Elementary School, Principal Thelma Almoena.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, Assistant Superintendent Lenore, and distinguished board members, as well as good evening to our wonderful Valverde community. It's always an honor and a privilege to recognize 2 amazing students from Columbia Elementary School, home of the Rockets. Woo-hoo! Gotcha. All right, so this evening we have 2 superstar second graders being recognized for academic excellence as well as outstanding citizenship. Please join me in congratulating Natalia Soriano from Mrs. Aguayo's class. And Giovanni Miranda from Mrs. Bissonette's class. Thank you.
Principal Tom Granati from LaSalle Elementary School.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. McCormick, board members, and our community. By the way, Ms. Almuena, I have copyrighted, patented, and trademarked that woohoo. You're not supposed to do that. Woohoo! Hey. First of all, I'd like to thank, I'm here representing LaSalle Elementary. LaSalle Elementary, where all students, all staff, and all community are all in all the time. Woo woo! Ms. Osorio and Ms. Kane, thank you for being here. These lights are really bright. We can't even see out there. We're on TV, that's right. Ms. Kane and Mr. Osorio, stand up and get a round of applause, please. There they are. We have second graders in the house tonight for citizenship. Give a nice round of applause for Jimena Nunez Rivera. Right here, everybody. And for academics from LaSalle, second grade, Damian Chavez. Woohoo! Thank you, everybody.
Principal Dr. Fernando Patanzos from Manuel Real Elementary School.
All right, good evening, Superintendent McCormick, board members, Mr. Lenore, and Val Verde community members. It is an absolute honor to be here and present two amazing second grade students from Manuel Real. First, for outstanding academics, is Stephanie Jimenez. And for outstanding citizenship, it's here for Alexa Noriega.
From Mary McLeod Bethune Elementary School, Principal Katrina Pichet.
Well, good evening, Superintendent McCormick, Mr. Lenore, our distinguished board members, and our amazing Val Verde community. Did I say good morning? Good evening. I'm just super happy to be here this evening to recognize these two amazing second grade Wildcats. But before I go on to that, I'd like to shout out to Ms. Yamas. Thank you so much for coming and recognizing our amazing students. So the first wonderful Wildcat that I'd like to honor this evening is for academics and citizenship. It's Evelyn Bravo. Let's give it up for Evelyn. And the next amazing Wildcat we have is for academics and citizenship as well, and it's Juan Zavala Llerena.
Principal Amy Breton from May Ranch Elementary School.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, board members, Assistant Superintendent Lenore, and Val Verde community. It is an honor to be here tonight to award two of our outstanding May Ranch second grade Wranglers. But before I do that, I'd like to acknowledge their teacher here tonight. Mrs. Guerrero, please stand and be recognized. Our first award for both outstanding academics and citizenship goes to Savannah Martinez. And also for outstanding academics and citizenship, Hayden Kirkpatrick.
From Mead Valley Elementary School, Principal Corby Warren.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick. School board and community, it's always an honor and a privilege to show off Mead Valley's finest. Before I do that, I'd like to recognize their two amazing teachers, Miss Osuna sitting right back here, Miss Elizalde right back there in the back. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And Mr. Granati, these lights are bright. My gosh. All right, first up for academics and citizenship, give it up for Jessica Espinosa. Equally impressive, an amazing hard worker. Give a round of applause for Danya Sanabria.
From Rainbow Ridge Elementary School, Principal Laura Polito.
Good evening, Superintendent, board members, and cabinet members. We are very excited to present this award to two fabulous second graders. But before I do, I'd like to recognize their teachers for being here tonight. I'd like to give a shout out to Ms. Soria and Ms. Nelson. They're over here. Thank you for coming. These are siblings. These are brother and sister, and they're twins. And so they come from a great line, a great bloodline here. And so both students are being recognized for academics and citizenship. We'll start with the young lady with Naila Gibson. And a big congratulations to her brother, Nathaniel Gibson.
Next up, from Sierra Vista Elementary School, Principal Tara Kim.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, esteemed board members, and Assistant Superintendent Mr. Lenore, and our amazing Valverde family. Tonight it's an honor to recognize two Cubs, one student for academics and citizenship from 6th grade, Yaxidi Cazeda. And our 3rd grade student for academics and citizenship, Michael Acamende.
From Triple Crown Elementary School, Principal Denny Seagrave.
Good evening, Mr. McCormick, Mr. Lenore, board members, and Val Verde community. It is with great pleasure that I'm here tonight to recognize two incredible scholars from Triple Crown Elementary School, both in second grade. Before I call their names, I do want to give a shout out to both of their teachers for being here tonight. We have Mrs. Rodriguez and Mrs. Avila. Give a little wave back there, ladies. Thank you for being here. Now, both of our scholars are being recognized in academics and citizenship, and it should be noted that they are also working on biliteracy as they are part of our dual language immersion program. So, without further ado, give a huge round of applause to Mr. Alejandro Ramirez. And next, another round of applause for Miss Sydney Reyes.
Next up from Val Verde Elementary School, Principal Dan Flower.
Good evening, Mr. McCormick, Mr. Lenore, school board members, and distinguished family members out there. I always say it's my pleasure to present students, but you know what? I'm proud of these students, that we have two individuals that recognize how important good grades and citizenship are. So I'm not only a pleasurable moment for me, but a proud moment. First, Ms. Viviana Lopez for academics and citizenship. And next, Mr. Patricio Hernandez for citizenship and academics.
Next up from Victoriano Elementary School, Principal Dr. Molly Large.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, school board, and our amazing Val Verde community. Before I recognize these two students for academic and citizenship, I want to shout out to their teachers, Mrs. Rillo and Mrs. Farias. So first, for both academic and citizenship at Victoriano Elementary, Isabella Ramirez Echeverria. And also, for both academics and citizenship, Mr. Isaac Calderon.
Okay, we're on to the middle schools. From Lakeside Middle School, Mr. John Parker, principal.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, board members, and of course, Val Verde community. As always, it's a pleasure to recognize outstanding student achievement at Lakeside Middle School, home of the Lions, and both of these students epitomize what it means to do the Lions roar, and that is to be respectful, organized, accountable, and we didn't practice that, in case any of you were wondering. For outstanding academics and citizenship, our first recipient, Addison Ellis. And also being recognized for outstanding academics and citizenship as well, Isabella Perez. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you.
Next up, March Middle School Principal Jim Owen.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick. Good evening, board members. Good evening, Val Verde family. We have some representation out there tonight. I am honored to recognize two outstanding 8th grade students who are Mavericks at March Middle School. Both students are in 8th grade, junior scholar students, both straight A students, and they're both in algebra, which is the highest class you can take now in 8th grade, and they love math, and I think that's just fantastic. So first of all, from Academics and Citizenship, Reina Aguilar. And I know her mom and sister are excited for her tonight. And this young man was a 7th grader to start the year, but got advanced to 8th grade, and he's still getting straight A's in junior scholar. He's amazing, from Nigeria with lots of representation here. Chizomaga Azu for Academics and Citizenship.
Principal Nikki Smith from Tomas Rivera Middle School.
Okay, good evening, Val Verde community, Mr. McCormick, Mr. Lenore, and our distinguished board. We have 2 students that are receiving awards, but Emily Lopez is out of the country, so she couldn't be with us tonight. But let's give her a round of applause. Okay, for academics and citizenship, we have a future Marine. She wants to join the Marine Corps. This is Roxana Cepeda.
And from Vista Verde Middle School, Principal Esperanza Arce.
Good to see you too. Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to all the Superintendent Award recipients. Buenas noches y felicidades a todos. We have two amazing, outstanding, just one-of-a-kind Cougars, and both are being recognized for academics and citizenship. Our first Cougar, she wants to be a physical therapist, future physical therapist, Ms. Jordan Geralds Chapman. And next, we have a future computer scientist, Mr. Christian Navarro.
Okay, we're at the high schools. From Val Verde Academy, Principal Dr. Vanessa McCune.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, Board of Education, and distinguished guests. Please help me recognize Val Verde Academy Student of the Month and ASB leader of our daily announcements and straight A student who excels in both academics and citizenship, Mr. Matthew Magayon.
Very cool. Next up from our Student Success Academy and Val Verde High School, Principal Steve Coelho.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick, School Board, Mr. Lenore, and guests. Thank you so much for being here. Unfortunately, my SSA student, Mr. Anthony Reyna, was not able to make it tonight, but I do want to recognize him because he's done really well over at SSA when he's gotten there. His teachers are real proud of him, so if we could give him a hand, please. And for Val Verde High School, we have my first recipient who was unable to make it, Miss Kayla Betson. She was an early graduate. She graduated in December, and tonight she had to work, but she will be attending college this semester as a senior, so we're really proud of her. And her teachers are real proud of her as well. She's accomplished a lot, so we're happy for that. And now the man of the hour, Mr. Amos Landgraf. He is an outstanding student. He's made a huge change while he's been at Val Verde. His teachers are real proud of him. He loves art. That's his favorite subject, and his goal is to go into the military when he graduates. He's real proud of his grandma, would like to thank her for her support and encouragement, as well, and his teachers say a lot of good things about him. And he is regarded among his staff as very polite and willing to help others. He is grateful for the opportunities Val Verde High has given him. And what sets him apart is he puts everyone else ahead of him. He believes in treating everyone right. With that said, Mr. Amos Landgraf.
From our host school, Citrus Hill High School, Principal Esteban Lizarraga.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, school board members, Mr. Lenore, and the Valverde family. Before I introduce two stellar Hawks, I do want to mention both of these students not only have excelled, and we'll talk about their academics, they're also part of our ASB crew here at Citrus. And if you don't know much about high school, you need to know that part of our school culture and community thrives a lot from our ASB students. They do a lot. For example, today we had a blood drive. And so it's students like the two I'm going to introduce that do so much, that serve above and beyond just the academics. So without further ado, let's first welcome up Ms. Vivian Rosado. So Vivian, she actually is one of our seniors. She has a GPA of 4.23. She is currently taking AP English Literature, Statistics, and AP Psychology. She has passed the AP US History and Human Geography. She has applied to UCI, UCR, UC San Diego, and Cal Baptist. She's already been accepted to Cal Baptist with a scholarship. She hopes to attend UCR. Her goal is to actually become a nurse. And one interesting fact about Vivian is that she likes to travel. So without further ado, let's congratulate Ms. Vivian Rosado. Next up, we have Miss Jessica Martinez. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes up. Another one of our amazing seniors. She has a GPA of 4.21. She is taking AP English Lit, AP Statistics. She has passed the AP US History exam. She has applied to UCI, UCLA. She's also hoping to go to her school of choice, which she's applied to is Cal State's Fullerton, which is my alma mater, so I'm hoping she gets into Fullerton. She also, like Vivian, wants to be a nurse, so she wants to continue to serve the community. Interesting fact about Jessica is that she has been doing martial arts since the age of 4. So watch out for Jessica, because don't mess with her. All right, so without further ado, let's congratulate Miss Jessica Martinez.
From our newest high school, Orange Vista High School, Principal Josh Workman.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick and Valverde School Board, Mr. Lenore, and Valverde community. It's always a privilege and an honor to recognize two outstanding Coyotes at Orange Vista High School, where we work to be respectful, responsible, and involved. Before I introduce our two students, I do want to recognize they both have the same guidance counselor, Ms. McMahon in the back. Let's recognize Ms. McMahon. All right, so our first student that we're going to recognize is a junior. He's an 11th grade student. He enjoys history and algebra 2. Can't figure that one out. History, algebra 2, usually two opposite spectrums. He enjoys to spend time with his family. He wants to major in kinesiology, wants to become an athletic trainer that focuses on basketball, and he wants to attend San Diego State University. His involvement, Adrian is involved on our varsity basketball team. We're in the middle of our basketball season. We're in first place in league, and he's one of our leading scorers. He is also on the TV announcement crew. His favorite thing about Orange Vista is he enjoys the environment, and the staff is very helping, and he just got a 4.0 GPA for his semester 1 grade, so we're really proud of him. Ladies and gentlemen, help me congratulate Mr. Adrian Contreras. All right, and our second student from Orange Vista that we're going to recognize tonight is a 10th grade student, and she's already been on the stage this evening as part of our Coyote Pride Band, but she's back here for round 2. She enjoys band, she enjoys Spanish and English. Her hobbies is she enjoys helping out at Triple Crown. She enjoys giving back to her community. She also enjoys helping out at church events. Her future plans, she wants to be an emergency room doctor. Again, she wants to benefit those who have the greatest need, and she wants to attend University of California, San Diego. She's very involved. Aaliyah's very involved here at Orange Vista. As I mentioned, she's in the band. She's our drum major, plays the alto sax. She's in our scholars program. She's taken AP World History, AP Human Geography. She just got a 3.8 semester 1 GPA. And her favorite thing about Orange Vista is she enjoys the environment, she enjoys the fact that it's a new school, and she's very excited to be part of the first 4-year cohorting graduating class here in a couple of years. Ladies and gentlemen, help me congratulate Miss Aaliyah Young.
Next up, from Rancho Verde High School, Principal Dr. Cheryl McCarrig.
Good evening, Superintendent McCormick, School Board, and Mr. Lenore and Val Verde family. Tonight I have 2 amazing Mustangs that I would like to recognize, starting with Miss Giselle Rodarte. Giselle is one of our valedictorians, ranked 11 out of a class of 784. She has a 4.18 GPA. By the time she's graduated high school, she will have completed 9 advanced placement courses. She passed her AP Spanish language with a 5, which is a perfect score on her AP Spanish lang. While at Rancho, she's been a member of NHS, Link Crew, Hermanos Unidos. She's president of our Avid Leadership. For the last 3 years, she's volunteered at May Ranch with the Think Together program. Because of that, that's shaped what she wants to do after college. She wants to become an elementary school teacher. So hopefully she'll come back to Val Verde and teach here with us. She has applied to UCR, UCI, UCSD, Cal State San Bernardino, and San Diego State, and hopes to major in liberal arts. And of course, come back and teach with us. Miss Giselle Rodarte. Our second Mustang this evening that I'd like to recognize is John David Aragon. John is also one of our valedictorians, ranked 10 out of the class of 784. He's got a 4.19 GPA. So far in his high school career, he's taken 8 AP courses and passed all with a 4 or 5. He's currently taking 5 more. Yeah, he's going to college for free, practically, with all those AP classes. Outside of the classroom, he doesn't stop. He's an RV scholar, part of NHS. He's president of our gaming club. He's a long-distance runner for track and field. He plays the clarinet and oboe in marching band. And the one thing about our marching band is they work hard all for semester. So John juggles a lot. When you say he's busy, he's busy. He hasn't been home yet from school. He's applied to all UCs except for Merced and Santa Barbara. He's applied to many private schools, including Harvard, Brown, Columbia, Dartmouth, Cornell, Stanford, Yale, Johns Hopkins, and the University of the Pacific. Harvard is his #1 choice. He's undeclared. He enjoys biochem, maybe considering going into political science and studying law. His advice to the younger students out there about high school is to have fun and try not to cruise through it. Enjoy it all. Mr. J.D. Aragon.
We have one more round of applause for all of our students that got recognized tonight. Okay, we couldn't make this happen without some amazing people behind the scenes, and tonight we're going to give a recognition to just a few of them. First, our Teacher of the Month from Columbia Elementary School, Miss Leticia Marquez. Mrs. Marquez believes in all students. She believes that they all can learn. She is known for having very engaging instruction in her classroom. She continually shares her expertise with colleagues as well as district community members during family literacy workshops. Above all, Mrs. Marquez gives hope to all of her students. She motivates and encourages students through her words and actions, finding gold in each of her students. She builds each student's self-worth by listening to them and helping them believe in themselves. Mrs. Marquez is an inspirational educator who truly cares for each student's well-being and academic achievement. Congratulations, Mrs. Marquez. Next up is our classified employee of the month, Mrs. Rachel Fernandez from May Ranch Elementary School. Rachel Fernandez is our fantastic attendance technician at May Ranch. She goes above and beyond for our students, staff, and community. Rachel displays a genuine passion for all of our students. She volunteers to have students check in and check out with her and assist students with their homework. During her time at May Ranch, she has helped us achieve an amazing attendance rate of 97%. Mrs. Fernandez is a team player and goes above and beyond. She's an incredible part of our staff. Congratulations, Rachel Fernandez. Next is our Volunteer of the Month from March Middle School, Mrs. Shanice Brown. Mrs. Brown is a dedicated color guard parent whose help is indispensable, attending all marching band and winter guard events over the last 2.5 years. Mrs. Brown's volunteering includes 5 a.m. call times, walking parade routes with water for performers, chaperoning middle school bus rides, transporting equipment, and attending all performances. She's also a member of the school site council. Congratulations, Mrs. Shanice Brown. Next up, if I could have our chief of our newly forming police department, Mr. Chief Clark, please come to the stage so we could have two more recognitions.
Good evening, everybody. Let's give a round of applause for all the kids. It was amazing to see them tonight get their awards. So it's always great to see kids receiving awards for excellence in their schools, and it's always great to see employees receiving that as well. So tonight I'm here to recognize 2 employees of my own through the security department, and I'll keep it short and sweet because I know we're already over 7 o'clock. So tonight I'm here to recognize 2 amazing employees for their hard work and dedication to the students, staff of the Val Verde Unified School District. It's been a pleasure to work with Joya Jenkins and Nadia Kogar and see the amazing talent they bring forth in diffusing situation working to create bonds with students and lending a helping hand when needed. These employees exemplify what a campus security officer should strive to be and what hard work and dedication look like. I want to personally thank them tonight for everything they've brought to the security department and the students they serve. This award is in grateful recognition of your outstanding performance, productivity, and dedicated service. I'd like to first thank and receive the award to Joya Jenkins. That's who's? Oh, they can swap. And my second award to Nadia Kogar. Congratulations.
Well, we were pretty close at 7:04. Not bad. Hey, I just, before I say goodnight to everybody, you heard a lot from the high school principals about these AP or advanced placement classes. Those are classes that our students are taking on our high school campuses that are actually college-level coursework where the syllabus is certified by a college professor. So when our students take those courses and pass that AP exam, many of them are receiving not only high school credit, but also college credit for those courses. So it's really quite an accomplishment. We've got some amazing families, amazing community, fabulous students in Val Verde Unified School District. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our program. Drive safely. Thank you.